But let's take it back real quick, guys, because I wanted to go ahead and get this real quick, right? And one of the craziest things is how unbelievably similar Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre's
Our
careers
careers went. Yeah.
Oh my
actually
God,
turned
I have
out.
something. I have something so big to say about that.
Well, let me paint the picture, then I'll let you go ahead and get in.
Please,
Obviously, because
please,
you way more
please.
you way more familiar with him, and
Plugged
right.
in.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
regular season head to head, they both won 2 games, they both lost 2 games. That's crazy. Like that's
Hilarious.
crazy.
That's hilarious. Man.
That's crazy. 153 to 87, 186 to 112, 65% completion, 62 pass yards, blah 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 blah. But this is where the shit. Now, granted, um, Brett Favre threw for 500, 508. Aaron Rodgers threw for 503. But this is where it went crazy. Brett Favre was throwing that thing to everybody, man. That man had 336 career interceptions. That boy was giving it to everybody. That boy
Bro,
was giving the ball
Kirby,
to everybody.
there will never be another quarterback in the history of football on a shorter leash than Brett Favre. There will never be another quarterback.
Longer
No one
leash,
will
longer
ever let
leash,
somebody
longer
longer.
leash,
My fault.
longer
Longer
leash.
leash,
Yeah.
bro.
I'll say
There
longer
will
leash
never be.
but you got to understand, like, I realize between both of these quarterbacks, a lot of those big interceptions came along with big plays also. Like a lot of those Hail Marys came with interceptions.
Yeah, and it
If
was
they
different. It was a different time.
if
It
it
was
had
a
been a
different time.
catch, if it had been a catch, like some of them happen, it's a all life 100 top 100 play. You get what I'm saying? But they did take chances, and the one thing that I didn't like throughout the transfer of both of them, later on in their career, they took a lot more chances than what they did early. Like I don't want to say, well, more than in the middle or at the peak of the career. At some point in time, they were just throwing shit. Like I know he gonna go get it. Fuck it, it's double coverage. Throw that
Well,
bitch up.
definitely Brett.
No,
Definitely Brett. But
hey,
hold,
no,
hold on.
definitely Aaron. I can run you some YouTubes of Aaron throwing that bitch up for no fucking reason with double coverage. Like, what are you doing? It's not even in place. I'm like, at one point in time, I thought Aaron was throwing games. I was like, Aaron, if you don't want people's tickets to hit, just say that. Like, what are
Yeah,
you
that's
doing?
that's that's normally what happens. But this is where it gets really spooky, and I'm gonna let you cook, Dro, because I want to
Okay.
get this. This is really where it shows. Like it's just eerie, right? Both have one ring. Aaron went to 10 Pro Bowls. Brett Favre went to 11. Aaron has 5 All Pros. Brett Favre has 6. Aaron has 4 MVPs. Brett Favre has 3. And they both should have a Super Bowl MVP. Like it's almost like a 1-to-1 career, and it's
Most
just
definitely.
crazy, dog.
No, it's
It
definitely
is.
crazy. Honestly, that's why I didn't want him to go to the Vikings. To follow the same path, and the Vikings would have probably been the best fit for Aaron Rodgers, to be completely honest.
And he
Listen,
halfway followed the path because he went to the
he
Jets. They both went to the Jets.
no, that's where the path follows, right? So he went to the Jets. If he would have went to the Vikings, he would have completely followed his path.
Yeah.
And in that sense, to be honest, at that point in his career, what's the best option to move on would have been the Vikings. We just seen Sam Darnold have a crazy career there. Like he just got paid because of it. For Aaron to go there and Aaron to have at least the IQ that he has, Aaron would have been fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like Aaron now has this process where he is losing a lot of value because he's holding out so long on people. Like he could have, I'm pretty sure he could have been took a contract. He just don't want to take a contract because everybody knows there's this little Cinderella shit that he does every fucking season. Nobody knows what and I hate it. I promise you, I feel
Just
like
like Brett Favre.
Yeah.
so listen, exactly. I feel like I left Brett Favre doing that shit, and this is the conversation I want to have. I appreciated Brett Favre growing up in the beginning, and as it started going out, I'm like, bro, you seem like a shitbag. Like, and that's being very honest, right? And then I watched Aaron Rodgers, which Aaron Rodgers kept me lit up for years, right? This is me growing up. This is me now, high school, being a grown man, working and all this shit, having kids. I'm still into the process of Packer life, right? I'm watching Aaron for so many years. Aaron was my motherfucking nigga. Then all of a sudden, Aaron don't know what the fuck he's doing. Now he's doing the same Cinderella shit that fucking Favre did.
Brett Favre was doing, yeah.
And it's like it started every fucking year. We don't know whether he's coming back. We don't know if he's going to leave. Like, oh, sorry, we don't know if he's going to stay. We don't know if he's coming back. Then it came the process of, I think, a year later. Then it's the Devontae situation where Devontae can leave, and he don't know if Devontae leaves, he's going to leave. If Devontae stays, he might stay. Like, so all of this shit's been a bunch of dramatics through every fucking off season for him that I feel like he's still falling into that same Brett Favre life. And now, especially him doing the same shit, I'm starting to get that same bad taste in my mouth that I have for Favre leaving out. I'm starting to have that for Aaron Rodgers now, and it sucks because I really looked up to Aaron Rodgers as one of the top QBs in the league for so many years. I used to really look at his shit like Tom Brady's up there because of the rings, but Aaron Rodgers right here because of the actual quarterback he is. Like, I used to always be like, to me, Aaron
Yeah, that
Rodgers
was the
is
argument. That
easily
was always the
a better.
argument. Yeah.
To me personally, Aaron Rodgers was a better quarterback. Brady just was in a better system and always had a team. Brady always had a pretty good defense. For the years that he was winning, his defense was really good. We never fucking had a defense. I used to want to slap the shit out of the defensive coordinators. Like, you need to make some fucking calls to bring some people in to make your defense make sense. But it was always off of the draft. And a lot of these guys were pretty good. They weren't great. And I realized through a lot of those years, they were okay with, we're producing these guys. They're really good. These guys are doing some production, but the production wasn't at greatness. Like, we didn't have a Darrell Revis ass nigga. Like, we didn't have none of that. We had some good corners. Even this past 2 seasons, we had some pretty good corners. But at the same time, you see when they get their ass bumped to the fucking house, you be looking like, what the fuck did you do? Like, so a lot of times I fall in that process too. But I feel like the Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers situation is starting to give me both of them are giving me a bad taste. I already lived that bad taste with Brett Favre, and
Deja
I feel like
vu.
it's the same thing. It's deja vu with Aaron Rodgers. And I'm glad he didn't go to the Vikings, but I feel like the Steelers thing is still like it's still a bad taste. It's like, you still went to the Steelers, bro.
Bro,
Like, that's
just
where you end your
retire,
career.
bro. You're
He
not
ain't
gonna
going
get
out
that
like that,
ring,
man.
dog. You're not
He
gonna
Can I
ain't
ask
going
y'all
out
this though?
like
Can I
that.
ask y'all this? Listen,
Go for it, man.
with the IQ that he has, do you feel like he actually should retire?
I'm always on the side, bro. Like, because at the end of the day, you have to be comfortable with the legacy that you go out on, right?
Most
So,
definitely.
I don't think he wants to go out the way he went out with the Jets, right? Like,
Legacy's already bad. Legacy's already bad now because of that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he went out kind of sad, right? You never
Real
want to go out sad.
Real
Like,
sad, man.
the Jets said, we don't want shit to do with you. He wanted to go back to the Jets, and the Jets told him to kick rocks. Like, you can't,
Bro, he's
in my
toxic,
opinion.
bro.
But
Yeah,
I feel like there's a lot bigger reasons for that. I feel like the Jets gave him. It's like having an old lady, right? And you tell her like she do whole shit. You be like, you know what, I trust you, so I'm gonna make you my old lady. And then after a little while, she started doing some whole shit. I feel like that's what happened with the Aaron Rodgers situation. Like you get me? Like he started doing some whole shit after basically coming to the Jets. Like, I'm gonna change this franchise. I need you to get this wide receiver. He had Lazard that came from Green Bay. He got Devontae Adams. He had Wilson, who was a fucking beast coming out of college. What
He
else
even
do you
brought the
really ask
coordinator,
for?
bro. He even brought what's his name?
Yeah,
Nathaniel
the
Hackett,
coordinator. So it's
bro.
like, you brought all this here, and then you showed me some whole shit. So I got to cut you off, and that's how I feel like the Jets process went. Especially getting a new fucking coach. Yeah, it's like, I don't even want to deal with the process. Let's just start over and try to make it make sense, because the drama behind this motherfucker is not it. I don't want a bitch who's always gonna be in some shit. Like, I need a bitch who's gonna just kind of just stay in place. Like,
Just
and
vibe.
whether
Yeah.
it's the best, hey, she might be a 6, but she stay in place. I try to talk to this 9, and she don't know how to act right. Like, that's exactly
Yep.
what it is.
All right. Okay. Before we get up out of here, man, we were gonna do a power ranking, but Rod, we already
We'll save
pressed
it for the next
time,
one.
so
Yeah,
we'll save it for the next one. I'd rather use the time that we have to do something, and I want to get this reaction from everybody here as well as the chat, man. So one of the most unforeseen beefs of 2025, man. Cornerback beef, man. Legend beef. Legend with the super legend, man. How do y'all feel about Deion Sanders versus Asante Samuel, dog? Which was not on my bingo card. So, Rod, are you familiar with this?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you didn't know? You better
No.
call somebody, Rod. What about
I
you,
was
Joe? Are you
not.
familiar with this?
Sorry, you said me?
Yeah, are you familiar with what's going on with Asante Samuel and Deion Sanders?
No, but if there's a who's better than who, that's pretty easy.
No. So
Oh,
this
no.
is where it gets kind of tricky, right? Because long story short, Deion Sanders had a video where he was talking about a specific technique. It's called a T-step. That's some
Mhm.
real cornerback talk. I don't know. That's Mandarin. That's real
Uh-huh.
football talk. I don't know shit
Okay,
about it,
okay.
right?
Fact.
But Asante Samuels tweeted was like, that's some foolishness. You can't control everything. And basically, Asante Samuel had an issue with Deion Sanders saying that you should never do that. And Asante Samuel was saying, yeah, it's different. You're Deion Sanders. You had unbelievable athletic talent. You didn't have to do this. And the gist of what Asante Samuel was trying to say was, this is a fundamental thing that is very important to quarterback play, especially if you're trying to get picks. But the internet did what the internet did, which is ignore Asante Samuel's point, overall point, because he ain't do himself any favors. Because then he was talking about he compared the stats and all of that, and then it just you lost the plot.
Oh
That,
no,
that that's what I'm gonna say. When they get to
That's-
that, you can cancel that conversation.
yeah, he took an L there, boy.
But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
point I was trying to make, and I want to get your opinion, right, is that what the internet does is who they like the most, they gonna side with that person. Obviously, people like Deion Sanders more.
Of course.
So fuck Asante Samuel. Asante Samuel is a Hall of Famer. They was
He
calling
definitely
him
is.
trash, a bum. You ain't never did shit. It's like, why y'all gotta take it there?
Well,
Like,
you know,
It's the
You
internet.
wanna
It's
know what
trolls.
makes
They worse that way.
you know what makes it funny to me though, bro? It's like we know out of okay, yeah, you could choose. Obviously, most people will choose Sanders over Asante Samuel. But why is there a reason to bash Asante Samuel who actually knows what the fuck he's talking about? All the people who are bashing Asante Samuel don't know as much about playing cornerback as he does.
Of course.
People just like, but because Dion and him are at odds, people are just picking sides because of who they like more. And I just think we don't have to always just pick sides. We could just let them do their thing because we're not even on their level to understand what the fuck they even talk about to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
hold on.
Okay. So there is it's a large crowd that's always going to agree with Dion because it's Dion, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
When we talk about stats and shit, we can wipe all that shit out. We already know what's up with that. Dion wipes all that shit out. Now, in the process, what Dion was saying, was it wrong? When it comes to football talk, was it wrong?
Well, the thing, it's one of those situations where nobody's wrong, but I could see where Asante was coming from because ultimately what Asante was trying to do before he completely ruined his own point in typical Asante Samuel fashion was say, you are a once in a lifetime athlete, right? Like you should not be disregarding a fundamental trait that is going to help lesser athletes. That's what Asante
Yes.
Samuel was trying to say. Problem is Asante Samuel grew up right there, Lauderdale Lakes, and went to BA. So all that nigga know how to do is say, fuck that, blah, 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 and not get his point
Talk that
across the
shit,
best
of
way.
course.
You know what I'm saying? But
Most
and
definitely.
it just that's where he wanted the box below. This is where my dog lost the plot. And he said, here's your yearly reminder. Now let's hear the excuses. Pick six, T-Step King. You're not winning this battle, Asante.
Asante.
At all. At all.
Put it to rest,
At all.
bruh. Put it to rest, my friend. Put it
Not
to
at all.
rest.
Not at all.
And Asante already, his face is already dirty because he had beef with Darrell Revis. And he says Darrell Revis was a manufactured football player and he was only in the Hall of Fame because he played for New York. It's like, dog, Asante Samuel, you a hater. Like he's a hater.
Like were the Jets really that good at that time?
No.
Were the Jets was the whole entire Jets defense that good that they started calling Revis Island, saying that's a one-on-one matchup, nigga. That means you dealing with one-on-one type of coverage, and he usually wins.
And you
That's
done. 09 Revis, in my opinion, to me, is the most impressive cornerback season that the cornerbacks ever had. Now, we could argue the script, but again, you can't say that about Darrell Revis when he has that season
Darrell
on tape.
Revis had Reggie Wayne. He had Reggie Wayne traumatized in a press conference.
Reggie
man.
Wayne, he held that man to 1 yard for one reception in a
Nah, most
playoff
definitely.
game, bro.
Nah, most definitely. It's one person that he could never fuck with was Randy, and that's the only person I feel
No,
like he could
he
never fuck
locked
with.
up Randy too. Listen, even with
Randy did him dirty a couple. Randy did him
Randy
dirty when
got
it
him
mattered.
one time when he pulled
When
his
it mattered.
hamstring He
when it
pulled his
mattered.
hamstring, and Randy got him. And people like go look at the stats. That
Most
man
definitely.
put Randy in the box too. Took away the key. The only nigga that gave him problems was Stevie Johnson because he had no idea what Stevie Johnson was gonna do. Because Stevie Johnson ain't even know what he was gonna do
Yeah,
when he
most
was coming off the line. But this is what I'm saying. No disrespect to Ralphie, but this is what I'm trying to say. Hey, you, what's your name? Dion. What's your name? Or something. You just like Dion, so you're gonna take Dion's side. And again, all love to you, Ralphie. Not trying to throw shade. Asante ain't do himself no favors. Asante did not do himself any favors because nobody. You can't compare yourself to Deion Sanders. I get it, but the point is that what got lost because the internet likes to pick favorites is you ain't Deion Sanders. How dare you try to tell Deion Sanders about playing cornerback when he really wasn't? He was actually overly showing love to Deion Sanders by saying he's so good that he doesn't need that
that extra
technique.
technique.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And to lesser guys that are not fast, that don't run 4.2s, you might run a 4.5. Put that in your arsenal, man. Look what it did for my career.
It's like LeBron trying to tell you how to drive, right? Like in his style. Like, no, we're not built like you, man.
Yeah, Bronny
Can't
can't drive like LeBron. I get it. So I get that part of the process.
Yeah.
But what if the Dion process is like that trick to math, right? You know, some people do math and they got to break down
they got
everything,
tricks.
right?
Yeah,
You know, some people have math, they cut through have a couple of shortcuts. They like, how the fuck you get? Like, what if Dion is pulling that move? Like, what if Dion is pulling that card? Like, this might make you more effective as a DB if you're adjusting to this and not that. You get what I'm saying? Like the things that he did, for instance, if we look at Travis Hunter doesn't seem okay. He has a lot of technique, but he doesn't seem like the person that has the perfect technique.
He does.
You watch him play football, he seemed like he's the person that's just super fucking elusive and he's on it. Like he's paying so much attention, he already sees what's going on before it happens type shit, right? Dion was one of those players, and that's why I get why this is a conversation. But at the same time, what if Dion is putting that step forward? Like, there's a comfort I had playing corner. There's some corners that you see that's like in a way Dion. Like, there's some corners that you see they backpedal and break out full speed, and there's some corners you see they like sidestepping and then break out and they locking shit down. Some corners aren't afraid of the wide receiver speed because they know how to adjust to it from what they're coming out of. I've seen some players play like the way a linebacker. I've seen a corner play the way a linebacker opens up, and it's so confusing to me until you realize this nigga's complete lockdown because his open up isn't backpedal, trying to split open to try to get to where you got to get to. His shit's like, hey, I got the sideline cut off, back to the sideline, and I'm watching this man every move in an angle where I can adjust to it. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes I've seen a lot of corners that play in that process. Like Richard Sherman was one of those players. Richard Sherman steps back a lot and opens up compared to this low down. We got to be super low, backpedal shit. You feel me? Like he's actually just like I'm wide open. I'm wide to what's ever going on. I have my back to the motherfucking sideline. That means anything go behind me, I can open up to, and anything in front of me, I can make moves on anything. This motherfucker cuts down the field, I'm on his ass. This motherfucker makes a post, I'm on his ass. This motherfucker goes deep, I'm on his ass. And I feel like those certain players have that extra effect, where it's not get super low, backpedal, and then open up. It's more like I can watch the field and I can see what's going on, playing in this position and playing from that position.
And that's why you got man corners, you got zone corners, you got Tampa 2 corners, you got cover like 3 corners.
The zone looking corners that have super good coverage are the ones that look amazing. Those are the ones that look like the Deons. You get me? Like they're like a zone cover, but they still have all the athletics to still play man to man at any point. So it's like I can open up to anything that's going on. But when them players that have this only have zone coverage, and you get put on the island, you dead out there on that island. Like that's how it works.
That's why it's such an interesting conversation. Because at the end of the day, bro, refine your skills that work for you, right? Like you might be short, you might be big, you might be tall, you might be stocky, right? Just you got to find a technique that works the best for you. And with that, though, man, let's go ahead and get up out of here. But first things first, man, Joe, man, appreciate you for coming on, bro. You fucking killed it, dog.
Bro.
the air horns, man.
Most def.
And we gotta get your
Anytime.
boy. We gotta get the number one hater, bro. Have a faux block, man. Get your boy in here, man.
Don't do my dog Jack like
Yeah,
that.
number one hater, man. Jack, we know where you at, Jack. Where you at? The number one hater, man. We got to bring all y'all on, man. So appreciate everybody for being there. Raffy, Cap, Loco, Pap, Jack,
True
you feel me?
Blazer.
Prescott, True Blazer, man. Everybody was in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody, man. And we cannot wait till the draft, bro. So
Who you
we
telling?
won't be on next week, but we will be on the following week, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and try to clip a bunch of videos from this podcast to give you guys and feed the streets, man. But with that, man, we'll see y'all next time, man. Deuces.
Doses.